Welcome to the Midnight Series, where we slip into our PJs and lean into the uncomfortable, one late night conversation at a time. Think of this as your late night sleepover with friends, the kind where conversation gets real after the lights go out. So slip into your PJs, grab your favorite beverage, and let's begin.
Oh, you've got the fireplace in the background too. It's like such a vibe.
Arlo likes it on when it gets cold. Can you see her?
Oh,
Can you?
yeah.
She's looking at me like, "What are you doing?" She loves.
Yeah, she's like, this is a change.
Yeah, she loves when it gets cold out. The first thing in the morning, she goes and scratches her back on the grass because it's like crisp and cold. And then she comes in and she wants the fireplace on. I'm like,
I love it.
You live your best life. She's so cute. My first baby.
I know. That's how I feel about Lukey, even though he's a little neurotic.
Well, we all are, aren't we?
Oh, perfect. This is great B-roll.
What am I doing? I can't see it. Or is this
It's
you?
just me talking. It's just me.
Is it good? Actually, are you being sarcastic or are you being serious?
No, I'm being serious.
Oh.
Like, here, smile. Okay, good. I'm trying to get more footage so I can be more active.
On Instagram.
But it's hard to remember.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Yeah.
It's like not our default. Well, not our default to be like, oh, I need to record this. But I do.
Oh my God, I know.
I do see some people where on Instagram where I'm like, why would you think to get your phone out during that situation?
I know.
To record it.
I know. I'm the same way. I'm like, I just don't want, but then I'll like leave the zoo or something or leave the play place and I'm like,
never took anything.
Like, why didn't I think to get footage?
Because you were living. You were in the present moment.
I know. I think I spent like truly the entire pregnancy with Forrest and most of last year like not being on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So then the shift to be on my phone is like rocking me.
Yeah. You have to retrain your brain.
But yeah, exactly. But yay, I'm so excited to talk through your experience with 2025.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you had a rough close to 2025 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just start through, like, maybe let's start from the beginning. Do you want to just talk through how 2025 started for you?
Yeah, so I actually, since I came to faith later in life when I was 30, I hadn't ever heard of like picking a word for the year before. That was kind of new to me. And I actually didn't really hear about it until last year. Our church did it. But all that to say, I kind of start my calendar with my birthday because my birthday is when I started reading the Bible when I was 30 for the first time. So like my words for the year, I do it on my birthday, not on the new year, which isn't that far off because I'm January 17th. So it's not like,
which is so funny because that's my sister's birthday too.
Wait, I didn't know she was the 17th. And she's a middle child. We're really connected.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
I knew she was around the same date, but I didn't know it was the exact same. Wow, that's funny.
I know. So I wonder, what time were you born?
I have to find my birth certificate, and my mom doesn't like remember the time. I guess that wasn't like a thing back in the 90s. She's like, I don't know, you're born in the afternoon.
I know, my mom didn't know either.
Yeah, she's like, I knew if it was
my mom knows
it
was like really late.
Exactly. But see, I remember that because I think I'm connected to numbers. And like, I remember Tate was born right on the dot at 5 a.m. And the nurses and the doctors were kind of, like geeking out because they were like, it's rare we get on the dot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was born sometime in the afternoon. I'll have to pull my...
Yeah, my kids were 6:34 a.m. and 6:45 a.m.
Yeah.
Both on a Saturday.
Oh, wow. My mom did say we were all
Mm,
born. She went into labor with all three of us on a Friday, and we were all born by the
me too.
weekend. And I was like,
Crazy.
and she, she was working, so it was really convenient for her.
We gotta find your birth certificate and figure out your time of birth
Yes, I know my cousin's
for
wife
other stuff.
knows. Well, she's pulled my astrology chart before, like on that little app.
So she knows the
She
times.
has the time. I've given it to her before, but I can't seem to remember it myself.
Oh, just text her and be like, "What time
Yeah.
was I born?"
My cousin's wife. Hey, what time was I born? You're the only one that seems to be able to keep up with this.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah, because I
digress.
want to run human design on you too.
Yeah, we need to do all that.
I know. Oh wait, before we dive into yours, did I tell you I was like in prayer about doing human design? Because I've like wrestled with it.
Yeah.
And did I tell you I like heard God speak to me?
No.
No?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So I was in prayer. I've really been focusing on connection and trying to hear him.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Lord, I'm just so nervous. Like, should I do this? Like, do you want me to do this? I don't know. Is it of you? Is it not of you? It feels of you, but why do I have this resistance?
Yeah.
And he was like, you can absolutely do it, but it's not going to tell you anything you don't already know. So if you want to go into it freely. You
Yeah.
already know it. And I was
Deep
like,
down. Yeah.
oh, yeah. And so I was like, okay. It was simple but profound. So he was like, just don't, I felt like, don't go into it like seeking direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go into it knowing that you already know it. Like, it's already within. And what aligns
Within
within
you.
is
Mm-hmm.
of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
And so I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. So I still want to do it just for fun. But I guess I
Yeah.
already know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's our true identity. And when we align with it, we do have the answers inside.
Mm,
That makes sense to me. I mean, that resonates with me.
truly. All right, so let's dive in. You didn't pick a word, or you normally pick a word on your birthday.
I don't actually pick a word. It's from my past
Ooh, okay.
experience over the last 3 years. Sometimes the word has come to me at the end of the year. Sometimes it's come to me
Uh-huh.
within the next year because I can see back into the previous year. Last year, it was one of those things, kind of like with the numerology, which we'll get into, where I just kept seeing it to a point where I was like, okay, I need to pay attention to this. And so I
Yeah.
kept seeing spiritual maturity. And I didn't know what that
Mm.
meant. That was a new term for me. So I was like, okay, I jotted it down. And then I was like, I'll figure it out. Kind of like what he was saying with the human design, like it's already within you. It was kind of how my
Mm.
mindset was going into last year of, well, I'll figure it out when it becomes clear, or he'll show me when I need to know. So I didn't really
Yeah.
like dive into it or try and understand what it meant. I just kind of, tucked it away and had it there and just was going to see how my year
Mm-hmm.
went. Because again, for the most part, I don't really know what my word is each year until I reflect back, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which does make sense because
No, it
I'm
totally does.
type B, so I'm not really like a New Year's Eve goals kind of girly. I wish I was, like organized and
But why?
motivated. It's,
Why?
I mean, you know, I've come, well, and that's part of this whole thing where I'm just like, that's just not me, and that's okay. Um,
No. And that's okay. Like, you were made this way.
exactly.
You're meant to be this way.
Yeah.
You
No.
have gifts and emotions that I think people that are very type A wish they had.
Well, I'm sure everybody wants a little bit of what everybody else has, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
Yeah.
like a really big lesson that I learned this year of learning who I am, why I'm the way that I
Mm.
am, and leaning into that, into my true identity. But yeah, I wrote some notes down so I wouldn't get lost. But I remember in January, we were coming off the Hurricane Helene relief efforts,
Yeah.
and my central nervous system was completely shot. We were sleep deprived.
Mm.
I was anxious. Just I just didn't feel in touch with my body or my mind at all. It was like I was on overdrive and I couldn't think clearly, and the noise was really loud.
Mm.
Because I mean, we worked essentially from September through the new year of relief efforts.
Yeah.
And I remember like really struggling, but also struggling with guilt of struggling. You know how I am. And so
Yeah.
Ross was like, well, let's just go to Bald Head and have a weekend where we can turn off our phones, or you can turn off your phone and you kind of like reset, which was exactly what I needed. I needed quiet. I needed quiet desperately because I couldn't think clear, and
Mhm.
I felt like I couldn't get back in my body without it. And while we were there, I wrote this prayer. So this was in the beginning of the year, and I'll read it because it kind of summarizes my year. So this is like what I went
Oh.
in with on my spirit, on my heart, on my mind. And it says, I pray that I always recognize when my soul craves solitude with you and that I honor it. I pray to be scrubbed clean, to be made new and fresh every morning, and that turns into overflowing gratitude for a heavenly Father who keeps no record of wrong and loves so deeply. Teach my heart to love like yours. I want to bear the good fruit. Cut off the dead branches and vines. May you plant sturdy roots in good, clean soil. This can only be done with a firm foundation in you. May my sacred tree be my holy place of meeting with you, not a place of darkness and turmoil that slowly kills the tree. Purify me. If it doesn't serve you, then it doesn't serve me. Make my tree with strong roots, healthy soil, sturdy in faith, growing tall with branches of healthy, beautiful fruit, a tree that provides shade for the weary, a resting place for the weak, comfort for the brokenhearted, peace for stories to not only be told, but listened to with intention, a tree that cries out with gratitude for its creator, a tree that can protect its own energy from the darkness with help from the one who planted it, a tree that cannot be moved or shaken, safe from withering because the one who waters it is good. May the light shine upon the tree and the tree be filled with the light so that the tree can honor the light with its life. So
I love that.
that's what was so heavy on my spirit when I went into
Hmm.
the new year, turning 32.
Yeah.
And I felt like I got it out, but I wasn't connected to what I was asking for, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Which is why what God said to you during the human design resonated with me so much, because that's kind of
Hmm.
exactly like what that prayer was for me.
It reminds me when you were saying your prayer of the verse, whether was it yesterday, the verse of the day yesterday or the day before that? Because I just looked it up and
Yeah.
I think it was John 15:5, where it's, I am the vine, you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him bears much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing. And so it's like, I think in that prayer, you were asking God to like be the vine, be the tree, be like, I want you inside of me, but you were struggling to hear him, to fully feel him, and then to know who you were in him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's so crazy. That
And
was just
just,
the verse the other day.
that is crazy. I'm glad you shared that with me because it feels like affirming to what happened throughout the rest of the year. And
Yeah.
I look back at that prayer and I remember how I felt when I was writing it physically and mentally. And I was like, why would I ask for the purification process? Because it's so brutal and gruesome and
Grueling?
exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I already was completely shot, with my central nervous system. And I'm like, why would I even ask for that? But that's what I got. That's exactly what I got this
Well,
year.
that's what your spirit needed.
Exactly. And that was something I had to learn throughout the year, that my spirit will crave something that I'm not totally in tune with mentally. But it just shows how connected we
Mhm.
are within, outside of our present consciousness. Like our subconscious is so divinely
Truly.
connected. And that was something that I learned throughout the year. Um, and both of us, I feel like we went back and forth, like really seeking this year. If that's like the word
Mhm.
that resonates the most with me, where
100%.
I feel like we were really seeking knowledge outside of modern Christianity, not in a
Mhm.
way that felt like demonic or dark, but it felt like what I was hearing and what I was reading wasn't aligning, and what I was hearing wasn't enough
Mhm.
for me. And by hearing, I mean like in church or
Well,
on podcast or, the
mhm.
mainstream Christianity. It just, I was like, this isn't working for me. This isn't enough.
Well, I think the Lord revealed to both of us last year that we have the ability to always go straight to the source.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we forget that and think that we need to go through other people or through other mediums, not spiritual mediums, but like,
Yeah.
different kinds of texts, devotionals, Bible studies. But those are tools.
Mm-hmm.
They're incredible tools to like aid and, kind of like the cherry on top of the sundae. But that's not the sundae. That's not the main part of it. God wants us to go directly to Him and cultivate that relationship. We don't cultivate a true relationship, through somebody else,
Yes.
if that
No,
makes
it
sense.
absolutely does, because I hit this block because I'm in a Bible study and I really enjoy listening to podcasts, and learning
Hmm.
new things. And I read my Bible every day, the basic things. And I just hit a block of, I'm tired of reading devotionals. I'm tired of reading Bible studies, books, listening to
Hmm.
podcasts. Um, I want to know who you are from you. And it's
Yeah.
not that it was what I was reading was bad. I just don't think it was deep enough for what I was craving. So
Hmm.
I really, really, really started seeking. And I'm not seeking like where I'm diving into the text and trying to uncover all the mysteries within it, because there is a lot
Yeah.
that's overlooked and missed. Um, it was more so allowing the space for God to show me what He wanted me to know. And it would come like
Mm.
little bits at a time, where it was so clear that I needed to dive deeper on this certain subject or this certain topic or this certain book in the Bible that I would. And it was like, I explained to my husband, it was like an onion. I would peel back a layer and then I would find
Yeah.
something else, and I would peel back a layer and I would find something else. And so as I was doing it, it felt like the devotions and the Bible studies and stuff like that were kind of a distraction from what He was wanting me to do. But I did find that
Yeah.
the more that I would seek was the more that I would have spiritual warfare.
Hmm. Yeah. How did you Well, I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
First, how did you make that space? Because I think a lot of people go to devotionals or go to podcasts or go like when they're how else do you is it silence? Is it
Mm-hmm.
just sitting in prayer? Like how did you make that space?
For me, it was more of the concept, because I get it. I love learning about theology. I love a good
Hmm.
devotion. I love a good podcast. Like, truly, I do. But for me, it was more so letting go of that and allowing, I guess the space for me would be the expectation of
Mm,
what information I'm going to learn, in what time frame I'm going to learn, and how I'm going to learn it. So a lot of it was connected to how I was showing up mentally and emotionally to my relationship with God and
mhm.
the expectations that I had set. And also letting go of, well, I might not hear something from him or see something from him in my quiet time hour that I've set every day for myself from 7 to 8 a.m. Like it might be 2 p.m. that he put something on my heart or my mind. Or
Mhm.
I might not get to my quiet time in the morning and it be absolute chaos. And,
Yeah.
I'm not hearing anything or seeing anything until later in the day, and that's okay too. So I think
Mhm.
letting go of the expectation of what it's going to look like is what allowed that
Or I
space.
keep hearing like, stop putting God in a box.
Yes.
That's kind of what I'm hearing.
Well, and it's like checking off the to-do list. Like, well, I've woken up, I've had my
Yeah.
coffee, I've done my quiet time, which I love. That's one of my favorite
Mhm.
parts of the day. But it's just, I think I'm thinking about, Moses in the burning bush. Like, God didn't meet him in a
Mm.
synagogue or a temple. He met him in the middle of his workday as he was tending the flock in a place that he would have
Yeah.
never thought he would have met God at a time he never thought he would have met God. That's kind of what I'm
Mm.
connecting to when I'm trying to explain this.
I love that.
Yeah, the bigger picture was looking back on it, I'm like, no, these moments where my expectations are not met and it is chaos and I am stressed, he is still there because I'm
Yeah.
having to rewire my thinking of, okay, this is not how I pictured my day to go. I missed my Bible study and I'm bummed about it. I missed my quiet time and I'm bummed about it. But what is in front of me in this moment right now? I feel stressed. I
Mm.
feel disappointed. I feel overwhelmed. And those little moments by moments, I think he was trying to show me, okay, you need to learn how to lean into your body even in the uncomfortable stuff like this and how you can
Mhm.
remain faithful through it. And that's where I think the maturity started to slowly, the spiritual maturity started to slowly work
Mhm.
its way through me. And it was very slow. And it still is. But yeah.
I don't think all from the outside looking in, I think you've done such an incredible job of slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think as moms, as wives, as busy people, whether you're working or in the home, working outside of the home, whatever you're doing, it's so hard. Our culture and our just outside life does not slow down. And so I think that you've done a really good job of intentionally trying to slow down, even in those crazy moments, those chaotic moments, and allow, well, I can't, my voice, hold on. I feel like the breath just got taken out of me. And you've done such a good job trying to slow down. Anyway, you've done a great job of slowing down and really allowing God to fill you. And even in those moments that are so chaotic, that are so exhausting, where your body is feeling, you're really starting to connect with your nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that God is showing you and me that He resides within our nervous
Mm-hmm.
system, that we can't hear Him
Absolutely.
if we're unregulated.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, let's focus on regulation. Let's focus on slowing down so you actually can hear me. I'm always within you. I'm always there. I'm like getting chills just thinking about it because he's like, I reside within you. But if you're so focused on the pace of this world, on the pace of what we're doing, on the chaos of it all, you're going to miss what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
I really like just, I'm so proud of you for slowing down
Thank you.
in this crazy world.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
I like really look up to you for that.
Oh, that's sweet. And I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think regulating your nervous system is providing the space that you need
it
to
is.
be able to connect with God on a deeper level. And
Hmm.
I say you because obviously he can meet us wherever we're at, even in a dysregulated nervous system.
Yeah,
But you miss
yeah.
so much on your end because it is a
Hmm.
partnership, and I do believe in active participation in the relationship on such a deep level that yeah, I feel like I am responsible for providing that type of space for him and for myself so that we can have
Yeah.
a deeper relationship. So that was something that I really
Well, that's
had.
part of your action.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's not something that I was ever taught. So,
Mhm. Me either.
yeah. Well, and it's just our generation. I don't think our parents were ever taught it. I
Yeah.
don't think their parents were ever taught
No.
it. Um, by the grace of God, we have more information at our fingertips on.
Yeah. This is so crazy. It keeps cutting out. Like I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh wait, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying it
What
was
is
big.
going energy wise? This is a very energetically charged conversation, I guess,
I think
because I
so
cannot
too.
handle it.
Ah, we do.
Okay,
We
sorry. So say
pause.
that last part again.
No, I was just
I
saying
think
that
so.
he completely unraveled me to put me back together.
Yeah. That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
Even though it was in a different
I
way.
know. I was thinking about that yesterday when we were recording yours, where I was like,
Mhm.
I feel like we came to the exact same resolution for the
Yeah.
going into the new year. Just we got there down different paths, but we both like connected to the exact same concept.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Yes, but no.
Well, no, but it also just shows how God works.
Yeah.
Like, and this is why I talk about this all the time, whether it like with sin in and of itself and how God works on people is going to be different. Just like how you parent your children, it's going to be different based on the child. God is going to work on you based on you. It's going to look different than somebody else, than your brother, than your friend, than the person sitting next to you in a pew at church, than the person on this side of the street on the corner. You know, he is working and we can come to he can come to the exact same conclusion,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to look a lot different than how he's working in your life. And so I think that's why we both get, I don't want to say triggered, but I get a little triggered when I see people proclaiming their self truths as truth with a
Mm-hmm.
capital T.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that things can absolutely be true to you. And I think God wants us to share that, but that doesn't mean we condemn others
Yeah, I
for
think I know what you're
their walks.
saying. Yeah, it's like putting your personal convictions onto other people
Yeah.
that don't have the same convictions because they're not the same
Yes.
person. They don't have the same struggles. They don't have the same desires. They don't have the same spirit. I mean, I'm sure there are overall broader convictions of life, but I'm the same way. I'm
Oh,
very
sure, of
triggered
course.
by someone putting their personal convictions onto someone else, like
Yeah.
projecting,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
not helpful and it confuses people. And it,
No.
what in their mind, I think they are being helpful and they think they're stewarding like massive amount of people into, I don't know, some type of
Yeah.
purification, but it's very misguiding if it's not true to the person. And so I do think it's very
Yeah.
dangerous. And that's probably why we get so triggered because I feel like we do get a little
Yeah.
protective over people's well-being, just being empaths,
Yeah,
you know?
over God's flock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it being
Yeah.
him being, I get a little protective of him being the one in control.
In charge? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Where
like,
I'm like,
"No,
I
this is
feel
not
like,
my decision. It's not
yes.
your decision."
Yes. I feel like it's like the religious superiority, and it makes me, yeah, I'm with you. I'm definitely triggered by that
But
as
sorry, I
well.
took a little bit of a sidebar,
No.
but
I'm
going back to what the Lord showed you,
yeah,
it's
oh, go
it's
ahead.
cool to see. I was saying it's just really cool to see.
It's been and I'll get to this part, but the reflection part of it was really interesting looking back. Um to see what he was doing there, because of course I couldn't see it in the
Mhm.
moment, but
Yeah.
it really did feel like him and I were walking down this path together. And the entire time I'm in like the oil press process, which is gruesome and brutal.
Mm.
And we've talked about this in depth, but it felt so, as much pain emotionally and spiritually that I felt like I was in, I just had this ever present comfort over
Yeah.
me where, again, I keep going back to the word expectation. There just was none, except for that my trust was in him. But
Yeah.
it was interesting looking back on all of that. But I remember really like a big catapult to my healing trajectory was the spiritual attacks that I faced.
Mm.
And we've talked about this on a previous episode in depth, which you can go back and listen to that. But yeah, that was a big moment for me. And moving forward through that, because it was something I'd never experienced
Yeah.
before, but also moving forward in a way that I didn't allow fear to be there, because fear is like my main thing. I think that's where I hold all my
Yeah.
control, is through the fear that I have over everything. And so I think walking through something so scary like that, but still having Jesus intervene on my behalf, it really did eliminate me moving forward with fear of spiritual warfare. I it's weird because I felt a little naive moving forward from that, where I'm like, "Oh, it's okay. He'll intervene." That's like his problem, is kind of like my mindset I had on it. And I didn't realize how much participation we did have to have in it, but it's a fine balance of, like, God told me, not making spiritual warfare such an idol. Like, don't obsess over it, but
Hmm.
be alert and aware that it's there, and the part that you play into
Yeah.
that. So having that fine balance of that was really helpful for me, and I think it's what cured me of my anxiety, which I'm not cured, but I mean, like, it's just a different level of understanding my anxiety, how I operate as a person, and how I can cope through that with him. It
Mm.
that came through the spiritual warfare, which is so wild. It's probably something you could explain better than I could, because I try not to get
I
too.
don't know. No, but do you mean just how you're transformed once you
Mhm.
really, or you understand? I mean, I don't know if we'll all like fully understand
Mhm.
what's at play spiritually and what's going on, but yeah, it kind of like opens your mind. It's this entirely new experience. The only other thing, I know this is going to sound so weird, but it's almost like doing drugs. and then you have a whole new perspective on your life.
Like what, tripping
And
acid?
yeah, like I've never done that, but I'm assuming that's what it would be like.
You're like, this is the best
I
analogy I
feel like
can give.
it truly, like it is and it's like, oh my God, it like opens up a new level. Like it's like, I don't know how to explain it. And something I truly do think, and maybe it's part of, I was always scared when I would feel like my brain chemistry kind of like changing in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
from the anxiety or from the attacks, and I was nervous that I was gonna like, you know, go crazy or something or have a psychotic break. Um, but where I'm going with that is that I do think when you go through such a traumatic experience, whether it's spiritual or not, it changes your entire, maybe that's a better example than the
Mm-hmm.
drugs. You go
Yeah,
through a really
absolutely.
traumatic event and it changes the trajectory and the outlook of your entire life forever. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
what we both went through last year. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes down really one of two paths. Either you lean in to God and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much out of my control. Please help me. Like, I have nowhere else. I don't know how else to do this. You have to fully
Mm-hmm.
surrender into Him and you need help because this is so beyond our physical realm. Or you just pretend it's not there and you suppress it and you kind of go back into the darkness to just to get it to stop. And I've done both. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not judging either way that people handle it. Um, but to attack it head on and really seek God in that is really hard to do and it's really scary. And so I think you doing that was really, I would just love to know your thought process. Were you at the point where you're like anything to just stop, or you were, because there were a couple times when I was going through it that I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think I can
Mm-hmm.
do this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I do just stop reading the Bible. Maybe I do just stop, like
Mm-hmm.
almost wanting to give in.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have any of that?
Um,
Like maybe I stopped seeking.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I did more so, and this is something I do spiritually, physically, and mentally. I did more of the disassociating and pretending that it's not
Mm-mm.
there. But when you
Yeah.
said, but then you just enter right back into the darkness, that resonated with me because that's exactly what I was doing.
Excuse me.
And I think that's why the spiritual warfare attack catapulted me into kind of confronting my anxiety head on because I didn't disassociate and I didn't go back into the darkness. It was like, oh, I can
Yeah.
actually do hard things. And it was different for me when you hear, oh, you just need to lay your anxieties and your fears and your burdens at his feet and just cast them away. And to me, I was like, I don't really know how to do that. And I feel like I've tried, but
Yeah.
that's not really helping me because I still have
Mm-hmm.
reoccurring anxiety. And like I mentioned before, I didn't have this one time experience where I asked Jesus to take away my anxiety and he did. I think he
Yeah.
entered me straight into it to show me actually how strong I am. And how
Mm-hmm.
strong I am with him by my side is even more than I can even grasp mentally. But I think he
Yeah.
wanted me to attack it like a warrior. And
Yeah.
yes, give it to him, but he's like, no, you can fight through this. You're a lot stronger than you've ever
Yeah.
been told, than you've ever believed. And I think I had to fully walk in it to get to the healing trajectory that I was sent on after that.
Yeah. I mean, the verse that keeps popping up is, I can do all things with Christ who
Mm-hmm.
strengthens me.
Yeah.
And what is that, Matthew something?
I feel like I
I
just
can't
read that the
remember.
other day.
Um, did you? It just keeps like popping into my brain and it's like, God was like, you can do anything
Mm-hmm.
because I am within you.
Mm-hmm.
You are pulling on my strength, not your own strength. You can literally do anything
Mm-hmm.
with me. And it's so powerful. Again, it's so simple, but so
No,
profound
it is. And I think until you're
that he,
thrown, it's like being thrown into the deep end, you know? And
yeah.
learning and realizing, oh, I actually do know how to swim. And so
Hmm.
that was like a huge thing for
Yeah.
me. And then I had that revelation of my concept of love being so misconstrued of how I love myself and how he loves me,
Hmm.
which was right before I was baptized.
Yeah.
So that kind of brought healing to me as well. Um,
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of what else besides the spiritual awakening, which I had like right after, I think it was after my
I,
baptism.
I think it was. I wonder if we do a separate episode
Mhm.
entirely on that.
On the spiritual
What are
awakening.
your thoughts? Uh-huh.
Yeah, we definitely can because it is pretty in depth.
Yeah, and I think it deserves its own
Yeah.
episode because then I also had the same spiritual
Mm-hmm.
awakening with you,
Yeah.
like like just a little bit behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think that would be, yeah. So then how did you close out the year?
Um, it was interesting because I sat in reflection and I really thought about all the things that happened this year, which was just so beyond what I can
Yeah.
grasp mentally. Um, one of the things I noticed was that I had prayed for healing for 2 to 3 years, and he didn't answer that for me. And healing, as far as things I've been through as a child, my anxiety, my
Yeah.
people pleasing, my dysregulated nervous system, um, I felt like he didn't answer my prayers of healing because in my mind, my expectation was he was just going to heal me and I was going to be a new person. I was so naive to the fact of
Yeah.
how much I needed to participate in that. And it's one of the
Hmm.
greatest gifts he has given me was to not answer that prayer because the way that I can see myself now, and it's still going to be a really long process for me because I've never sat
Yeah.
in this type of living before, and I'm going to be 33 by the time this episode comes out. Um, but the the new eyes that he gave me is probably the best way I can describe it. I feel like I see things so much differently. I process things so much differently. And the way that I show up for myself is honoring him, and that in turn honors me and honors the people around me. And I've just watched
Yeah.
not only the inside of me be healed, the trauma be healed, but I've watched how it's healed my relationships with other people and the way that I show up in the world. And that has been the craziest thing that I've
Hmm.
ever seen. And it's been such a gift. And I can't wait to dive in a little deeper with it. But I was talking to Kelly on the phone
Yeah.
after we had all the crazy stuff happen at the end of the year. And she
Mm.
kind of affirmed that for me. She was like, I feel like you can see things in between the lines that not a lot of people can. And it was almost like she was saying it feels new. And I was like, I think it is new. And it perfectly summed up
Yeah.
how I felt. And it affirmed that I actually have been working really hard. And he has too. And it's just been
Yeah.
such a gift. Um, so yeah, I'm excited
Oh, yeah.
for year
I think that
33.
you have really, I know. Um, I think that you've really tapped into your intuition, and you're a lot more intuitive than you. I think we all can be very intuitive, but it takes a while. It's a gift that he gives all of us, I think, but we have to kind of hone it and really ask for it and clear the way and make room for that gift. And so I think that he did give you healing. He put you on this healing journey that is making space to hear him more clearly, to be intuitive, to use that gift of, intuition and connection with God to help others, to serve others, to speak. I kept hearing the word, which is funny. I heard this with Evan too. Ruach. Do you know the word ruach? Yeah. So
It's the spirit, like the
you're
Holy Spirit, right?
it's like giving, yeah, and like
It's what
speaking
he breathed
life into things.
into us as humans when he created
hmm
us. Yeah.
And I almost feel like he did that to you again this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Which honestly,
And
that
now you
resonates
get
to
to go out and do
me.
that too.
Yeah. That resonates with me because it kind of validates my rebaptism.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it does.
So thank you for saying that.
So crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's funny. That word, I didn't even really truly know that word. But it came to me in prayer with Evan when he was choosing his word for the year. And I just kind of looked at it and I was like, oh, Ruach. And he was like, what? And I was like, oh, like, breathing, like, because he wanted to talk about speaking life into things, breathing life into things, the power of his words. And I just said it. And he was like, whoa, where did that come from? And I was like, I don't know. And I think it's just the Holy Spirit. And so I feel that with you too. I just felt that word come up
Yeah.
again. So,
It was funny because I kept hearing alignment for this year. And
mm,
I'm like, maybe I just keep trying to center my life with him, which is something I'll do for the rest of my life. It doesn't matter what year it is or,
yeah,
But that really spoke to me when you said that. Like maybe that's what I'm supposed to
it's
concentrate on.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe it's multiple things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Sure.
that alignment, connection, growth, um, sureness, intuition, all of it.
Yeah. I
It's the way he works is so mysterious and
it
it's just
really
so
is.
cool.
Well, it's funny because I didn't come across this until the end of the year. I know I started with the beginning of the
Yeah.
year. I didn't really know what spiritual maturity is. I just kind of was like, okay, you lead the way. And then at the end of the year, I came across this quote that said, spiritual maturity is about how well you handle your humanity while staying connected to the divine. It's being spiritual without being superior, awakened without being arrogant. Spiritually mature people don't use their gifts to impress others or their knowledge to belittle others. They don't claim to be beyond human emotions or exempt from human responsibilities. True spiritual maturity looks like taking full responsibility for your reality, maintaining healthy relationships, and serving others without depleting yourself or expecting recognition. Spiritual maturity isn't transcending your humanity, it's mastering it. And that's exactly what I
Ooh,
felt like my last year was.
I think so too.
Like, I didn't need to know what it meant until I'd done it.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
Mastering
Yeah, I
humanity.
connected
Because
back
it
to.
goes back to what I was saying,
Yeah.
yeah, the other day is like he wants that we are humans. He created us to be humans. Our spirit, our body, our mind, our soul, all of it is that is the human experience. And so to be spiritually mature is to understand your humanity.
And how it connects to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, this is such a good episode.
Yes. Thanks for
I
making the
am so
time.
excited to see. Yeah, of course. Let's do another one on your awakening, my awakening
Mhm.
together. It's the same thing, so we'll have to do another midnight series on that.
Yeah.
And then we have some really cool guests coming up too, which I'm so excited
I'm
about.
excited.
So
Me
we
too.
will just can't wait.
I know. I'm excited.
All right. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for being here with us today. If something resonated, maybe a sentence, a silence, or a story, hold on to that. If you felt seen or stirred or simply curious, we hope you'll join us again. Until then, stay open, stay tender, and remember, there's always a seat for you at the table.